Stand by. The program will begin soon.
When I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot. That person's probably a homophobe. That person's probably a racist if they're just flying American flags out everywhere.
Hold up.
Hey, this sounds more like a you problem. You should probably go see somebody about that.
He got over $5 million per year from the American taxpayers, being given no bid contracts from Maine Governor Janet Mills, and is building a military in Somalia. He has been funneling money back to Somalia to build a military in Somalia. The guy is running a migrant services agency that builds Maine Care, which is what we call Medicaid, about $5 million a year. Oh no, those illegal immigrants aren't getting any Medicare. And then he said he raised money in the U.S. to buy weapons, munitions, and supplies for a paramilitary force he had hoped to lead as the president of Jubaland. Yes, that's a real state in Somalia. And to be clear, in Somalia, he's running to be the warlord of Jubaland. Elections in Jubaland aren't exactly like elections in America. It's whoever has the most guns is able to certify the election. So he needed to buy a paramilitary organization and paramilitary support in order to win the election. Avocados Diablos asked if you could bring any one comic strip character to life and train them to be a hitman, who would you choose? Oh, that's the easiest question ever. Calvin. Calvin. Oh, look, Stop Double Nation, you and I are on the same page. Calvin. From Calvin and Hobbes. Yes. And by God, Calvin would be the greatest hitman to ever live. Better than John Wick. I guarantee it. I didn't have to think of it. Stand by. The program will begin soon.
Yes, it's true. The Obama administration deported over 3 million people. In the Biden administration, over 4 million people. But they didn't need troops. They didn't need military in the streets to do it. Tell me why. Put it in the chat. Tell me why you think that's that.
Because when Obama and Biden were in office, there were no riots in the streets of Los Angeles, even though 80% of the deportations were also expedited with no hearing. But you didn't give a shit then. Now that Trump's in office, you suddenly give a shit. Hope that helps.
That turkey was amazing. Mostly because I cooked it, because I'm really good at cooking turkey. So one of my tricks new tricks that I do, you know how when you cook a turkey in a pan, even if you got one of those raised pans, it always happens. You cook this turkey and the breast of the turkey get all nice, the top gets all nice and brown, and then you go to cut the underside and the thighs and legs are like all white underneath and not even done. Well, there's a trick you can do to avoid that. What you do is you cook the bird upside down for at least 1/3 of the cooking time. So you end up browning the bottom and sealing that first, even more so. And the other thing I do is I start my oven at 500 degrees. The first 45 minutes to an hour, you put it at 500 degrees, and then you turn it down to 325 and do the rest of the cooking. But anyway, do it upside down, and 1/3 of the way through, then you flip the bird back over in the pan, and the entire bird gets finished at the same time. So apparently, in Europe, you can refer to Americans as pigs. but not convicted rapists. A German court gives woman harsher punishment than convicted. I hate it when people say rapist. I'll just say unwanted sexual activity peoples for calling him a disgraceful pig. She called someone convicted of that crime a disgraceful pig and got a harsher punishment than the person who actually committed unwanted sexual activity. And so that's why people were posting that story about the German court gives women harsher punishment than convicted unwanted sexual activity.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's a story about this man too. He led the attack on Pearl Harbor but died a Christian missionary on December 7, 1941. Captain Mitsuo Fuchida flew the lead plane against Pearl Harbor, shouting the famous code, Tora, Tora, Tora. He hated America. But after the war, he met a former American POW, Jacob DeSager, who had returned to Japan not to punish him, but to preach the gospel. Shocked by this forgiveness, Fuchida bought a Bible. He converted to Christianity in 1950. The man who started the Pacific War spent the rest of his life touring the U.S. and Japan preaching. Quote, I was a follower of the sword. Now I'm the follower of the cross. Amazing. Nearly 5 years after pipe bombs were discovered outside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., a suspect has been arrested in the case. On Thursday, federal agents arrested Brian Cole Jr., 30 of Woodbridge, Virginia, and he was charged with transportation of explosive devices, blah, 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 blah. But on Friday, legacy media outlets began reporting that Cole, this young black man right here, was a Trump supporter. And I'm not saying he's not because he's black. I'm just saying there's other evidence that might support the fact that he's not a Trump supporter. But we'll get to that. Quote, Brian Cole worked for a bail bonds company run by his father that worked to free illegal immigrants from ICE facilities and sued the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security. He worked for his dad. They tried to free illegal immigrants. Interesting. Yes, I know every Trump supporter, every black Trump supporter would be quick to hire Benjamin Crump, who represented the family of Trayvon Martin, attempting to sic the Biden administration Department of Justice on a local Tennessee prosecutor who had raised concerns about the bail bond companies. We'll find out eventually that this guy had wanted nothing to do.
Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem. Prostitution. And now you've got the police chief and the police department involved. Just data points to consider.
It is Happy Bill of Rights Day on December 15, 1791. The Commonwealth of Virginia ratified the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. George Mason and James Madison were the driving forces behind these guarantees of individual rights. And note that all the individual rights that are in the Bill of Rights are not rights granted by the government. Those are the inalienable rights which the government shall not infringe. And if you notice, it's interesting because the Bill of Rights is all about what the government cannot do, not what the government can do. And I think kind of got away from that a little bit, where some people seem to think that the government is going to grant you rights. No, these are rights you have, whether there's a government or not, and the rights that the government must protect for you. So it was a unique thing when it came about in 1791. that government is not there to grant you or give you privileges, but rather to protect rights that you have.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
Well, it's Friday. You know what that means. Friday Q&A towards the end of the show. And if you haven't already done that, start answering questions, people. I see a few you already have. That's fantastic. Happy Friday on the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. And I can't figure out what the hell's going on with my chat here. It's weird. My pinned stuff is all down at the bottom, and some of it's duplicating. I have no idea what's going on here, but I don't know. We'll just deal with it. Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful morning. Can't hear myself again. There we go. That's got to be able to hear myself because I'd love to hear myself talk. It's Friday. Let's talk about some news like we always do, and I have random mishmash of stuff again today. We'll watch a few videos too, because that's always kind of fun seeing some of the stuff that people are posting, and there's a whole bunch of news. I do encourage you highly, though, to when I put the links in the chat and in the description, go and read some of the articles. There's sections, and my favorite aggregator, I should say. There's lots of aggregators, but this was my favorite morning aggregator. JJ Septon from the Ace of Spades blog, and he's fairly prolific in putting together articles, and he puts them in categories. For example, the American-Israel strike on Iran is a category today, Civil War, the leftist persecutions, Democrat pushed, American dissolution, basically Democrat scandals, and then also there's a border section, there's a border on the courts, or a section on the courts, and a section on Islam, Democratic Party, anti-Semitism, anti-Christianity, impeachment stuff. First Amendment issues, economy, crime and punishment, abortion, 2020 election. There's a lot of stuff coming up about the 2020 election that I'm sure some people never wanted to see the light of day. That's starting to show up. People are starting to figure it out. And doesn't mean it would have changed results, but it sure looks a little sketchy. I'm sorry, I don't want to be called an election denier, though. I'm sure I will be, especially if Brent shows up. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody and get it going, because it's Friday, and I'm here closer to on time. I saw what you wrote out, AD. First in the chat is Mr. Avocados Diabli. Yeah! You get the bell. Also, good morning, Renee Mayette, Kara Soldier, Mike Savage, Blarg, Miss Unholy Queen, a.k.a. Midnight, our young friend. Lord Stanhope's in the house. Who else is here? I said Lord Stanhope. I said Renee Mayette. Let's see. Down farther. Who's that? That Tyler F, a.k.a. Hurricane Francie. Let's see. Tall person, what's up? And Chicago Mike, again, nice to have you back. 2 days in a row. That's amazing. I know your work schedule doesn't always make it easy for you to be here, but I know you watch every once in a while on the replays and stuff, so I know you're there. Just as nice to have you here live. All right. I didn't do the. I don't know what the hell we're celebrating today. Let's see. Oh, good God. What the hell? I didn't really open any. Oh, I know what I do. Let's say the people who shared the show too. Thanks for doing that, by the way. As I scroll down, find the first one. First one today. Is by Tall Person. Tall Person gets the bell. Sharing the show. Thank you very much. Posting it before me. That's quick. And let's see. And then also Somnambule Nation, always. Thank you for doing that again. And Midnight, our young friend with the Unholy Queen new Twitter account. If you haven't, you don't follow her on X Twitter. I still say Twitter. Can't help it. I've been on there since what? How long have I been on Twitter? I've been on Twitter since 2000. I don't even know. I have no idea. It's a long time. I'm an early adopter, whatever, of Twitter when it was on. And Selected Boys in the house. What's up?
Yeah, boy.
And Man Squatch. Nice to have you here. All right. Also, Somnable Nation. Here's the meme from Somnable Nation Day. We called playing that mystery VHS therapy roulette. So when you stayed home from school, sick from school in the 80s, and found an unmarked VHS tape in your parents' closet. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know what? When did they start doing VHS tapes? My parents were really big into VHS tapes because that'd be an early adopter. Yeah, it's Debbie Does Dallas. So anyway, there you go. We'll repost that. My dad didn't have any of that stuff though. He had Playboys in this bathroom though. That was always weird because my mom allowed it. Just, their bathroom off the bedroom, there'd be Playboys on the floor. I'd be like, what the hell? Also Resolute Germ with the cool kid, because we got the cool. You must have saw the theme today. Ms. Wild Wolf with the very special Friday Free for All. Thank you for that. GIF. Also, people reposting Ms. Wild Wolf, Somnable Nation, Resolute Germ. And then let's see, anybody else up here? Renee Mayette, thank you. Sharing the show. Greatly appreciated. Oh, I'm trying to repost it. There we go. I don't know what that is. Is that just being out in the wild? Okay, I think so. Anyway, thanks everyone sharing the show. Greatly appreciated. All right, let's move on. Here's what we're celebrating today. What was the one? There's a couple good ones today. Today we're celebrating World Ad Tech Day. Nah. How about International Scribble Day? Okay, that's a good one. I'll take that one. International Whiskey Day, though. There we go, baby. That's the one I'm about to celebrate. International Whiskey Day. I don't care if it's Irish, bourbon, Scotch. What else is there? There's others. But those are the three that I am familiar with. Very familiar with. Oh, Canadian. Well, Canadian is just kind of like stolen American whiskey. But anyway, there's all kinds of whiskeys out there. World Theater Day, cultural observance on March 27th, promoting theater worldwide, raising awareness of its value and celebrating the art form as a vehicle for culture and peace. Peace, baby. Also, National Joe Day, if your name's Joe. Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day. Like, let me think. Do you consider Ray Stevens' The Streak a country song? It kind of was, wasn't it? How about Convoy by C.W. McCaw? That's an interesting one. Can you think of any quirky country music titles? Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That was a country version of a Christmas Carol, right? If you can name any quirky country music songs that you can think of off the top of your head, let me know. Write them in the chat. Okay? National Spanish Paella Day. Oh my gosh. You know what? That was something when we were in Spain. At this wedding we went to, they had this giant cast iron skillet. It was on its own stand. Hi, Ms. Wild Wolf, by the way. Thank you for reminding me. Midnight. You're always yelling at me though. I'd have figured it out. And I did give credit for sharing the show. But anyway, they had, this thing must have been 3 feet in diameter. Like it was a cast iron thing. And they had to have 3 people carry it in. And they set it on this giant stand of the fire underneath it. And they were doing they did paella for like 400. It was like, this is the biggest pan of paella I ever saw. If you're not familiar with paella, it's kind of like it's a Spanish, and when I say Spanish, like España, Spain. It's a rice dish with like chicken and seafood and just all kinds of stuff in it. and with some saffron rice, and sometimes they use rabbit and but this paella was just amazing. And we had paella like 3 or 4 times while we were in Spain at different places. And oh my gosh, I just love paella. Anyway, National Medical Science Liaison Awareness and Appreciation Day. Too many words for a holiday. Sorry. National Viagra Day. Uh-oh. Somebody's gonna be today. And celebrate Exchange Day. I have no what that means. And Myanmar Armed Forces Day. There you go. Celebrate, dance to the music. There we go. All right, let's wait a minute. Wait, what? Did I miss somebody? Hello, H.P. Lovecraft. Draconkillas? Where's Draconkillas? Who are you talking to? Is that I didn't see that person in the chat, but welcome if you're still here. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I forgot about my new person. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. All right, I felt bad now. Okay, let's move on. Today I don't really have a theme, and I'm not. I kind of stayed out of the trending topics today. I didn't really care. I didn't even look to see what was trending today, to be honest with you, which I usually do. I mean, let's look down the list. We're not gonna click any of them, but let's see trending things right now. Verus, Houston, Arkansas. This is all about the NCAA tournament mostly. That's why I don't even look at it during the NCAA tournaments, because it's all about. It was mostly basketball. Occasionally you'll see somebody who is, like a political person, like BB's trending, but they spelled Bebe, which I don't know what that is. But that's wait a minute. That's not even about, that's some baseball player. All right, never mind. Who cares? I'm out of the trending topics today, but I'll let the featured stories on X today. Let's see. And I'll just show you what they are. WILDS creates council to document Operation Metro surge impacts. Oh God. And a man with a long criminal record charged in fatal Charlotte hit and run. Government shutdown delays airport security as parties clash over ICE funding, because they still aren't getting this thing done. They did pass. The Senate finally passed a DHS budget or something, which, they're saying that it's shut down. I don't know why they weren't using the funds that are already allocated for these agencies to pay the people who are working there now. This isn't even current people, right? This isn't even current budget. So I'm not sure why they have some people not being paid. It doesn't make sense to me, but they think it makes sense. But without ICE funding and without, did it include TSA funding? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not. We might come back to that if I have time, but I probably won't, because we have Friday Q&A. So I'm just going to bring you some things I opened as I was perusing while I was getting ready for the show. This is interesting because we showed you that thing in Philadelphia. This is 8 minutes long. I didn't even realize that. Apparently there's an American Muslims for Palestine conference. And during this conference, apparently they openly discuss their plans to take over America, including through suicide bombings, stabbings, and mass shootings. Now, I'll just look at the first couple, maybe minute or so.
I caution you of the days to come.
First minute.
Because
hang
they will not
hang
lose.
on. Well, that didn't
There
work.
are.
I need to refresh it because it won't let me pause it. I want to be able to pause it. I don't know why that does that on X, where sometimes you just can't pause the video you're looking at. So let's watch just a little bit of this, and then we're going to move on. But here we go. And unfortunately, there's music in it, so who knows what's got to do to my channel. Okay, stop. Oh, hang on. Sometimes you have to unmute it so you can hear it. Imagine that. We'll just leave it on this size. Fuck it. I'm not going to expand it. Here we go. What the hell? It's still not working. There we go. Start it from the beginning.
I caution you of the days to come, because they will not be easy. There are people among us today who might not be with us next year at this conference. And this is a reality.
What does that mean?
Because the liberation struggle requires sacrifice, and I know everyone here is prepared to make that sacrifice.
This is American Muslims for Palestine. Now this is obviously, this is an Israeli activist who's posted this. So I'm going to give you that context, but then I'm going to ask you, is he wrong? The dramatic music annoys me too. I just want to hear what they say.
In May 2024, over 100 organizations gathered for the People's Conference for Palestine in Detroit, Michigan. More than 3,000 activists were in attendance. Speakers celebrated the October 7th massacre, called for resistance against the West, and mapped out a vision for the destruction of America from within.
The Palestinians who came to the United States understood their role immediately upon arrival.
We, the movement for Palestine in North America and across the world, are here to fight until victory.
What is victory? What is victory? I'm curious, because if they're following Iran's leads, death to Israel, death to America.
This violent movement has been growing for decades. It's made up of groups including Within Our Lifetime, Students for Justice in Palestine, the Palestinian Youth Movement, and many others.
Dude, that's a white girl. Well, you know, I mean, she might be from Palestine. I have relatives who claim they are citizens of Palestine just because they're into this activism, which we don't talk about that very often.
After the October 7th attacks, anti-Israel groups in America were emboldened. They saw the massacre as an opportunity to intensify hostility toward Jews and America.
When I think about the USF, it should burn! Death to America!
As the movement worked nonstop to legitimize the Hamas attack.
That's always, that's not all that concerning.
The activists openly flaunted their hatred of Jews and Israel through protests, vandalism, encampments, and violent assaults, both in the streets and on college campuses. Flags of terror organizations became commonplace in public spaces.
And that's what I don't get, man. Look, especially if you are an immigrant to the U.S. and you're openly flaunting your hate for the country and your desire to destroy the country and kill people. Now, if you're here on a legal status, which they usually are, maybe we should revoke that legal status and send your ass back. That's the whole fight about that one kid that they, you know, the kid, I call him a kid. I think he's 24 now. But anyway, the dude who they decided that they're going to revoke his visa and send him home. And now there's a court saying that we have to keep him. He can't be detained while they appeal that removal. I don't understand it. And he's openly calling for the destruction of the place that he's come to.
I support Hamas! I am Hamas! We are Hamas! Yes, we're all Hamas!
Activists celebrated the brutality of the October 7th massacre.
I tell you what, this will be in the links, but I just wanted to point it out to you because I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get to, and I definitely want to get to Q&A. But I don't. It's like our freedom of speech, right? We have freedom of speech here. You have freedom to criticize our government. But if you're here on a conditional status, and if that's your stance, it's time to go home, son. Sorry. I don't feel bad for you one bit. All right, now this is kind of random order because not all these are related, so this is something completely unrelated. But I had, I hate this. I hate when this happens. Good Lord. This is called Democrats of the 90s. By the way, you know, I was thinking about something the other day, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know, because when they were talking about the Iranians were kind of calling it, the Americans, the Epstein regime. And also how the Democrats all of a sudden have this great desire to expose the Epstein files, which finally, I'm glad you finally are on board. But I was thinking about it, how they're focusing on Trump so much, because clearly Trump is one of those people. Not only was he openly friends with Epstein a long time ago, but also because probably in a lot of these files, a lot of the people investigating kept asking about him, right? And so his name's in the files a whole lot, because everyone wants to talk about Trump when it comes to Epstein. But I was thinking about this. So when Trump was friends with Epstein, what party did Trump belong to? Trump was a Democrat, right? And also, if you kind of look down the list of all these people that show up in the Epstein files, a lot of people that you know he associated with, a lot of people that you know were at the island, and a lot of people that you know were at the ranch in New Mexico, a lot of people who partied with Epstein and conversed with Epstein and associated with Epstein, even after the first conviction in Florida. You notice how they're all Democrats? There are very few Republicans even mentioned in these things. It's all Democrats. And I was thinking, wait a minute. And when Trump was friends with Epstein, he too was, wait for it, a Democrat. So I'm not sure. And like, Bill Gates, Democrat. There's a bunch of, there's all kinds of them. And even like they claim that Elon Musk, had some associated with him somehow, when Elon Musk was what? Democrat. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, this is a video called Democrats. What were you like in the 90s? Now that's what's funny to me about when you say that. There are people watching this stream who weren't even alive then. I'm thinking the 90s, that's not that long ago. But for some people, that's 30, 36 years? 36 years ago. Holy shit. This is like, it's funny because when someone asks you what year you were born, and if you start with 19, you're an old fucker. Anyway, here we go. What Democrats were like in the 90s. Let's see what this video is all about. Oh, crap. It has music in it. Well, hang on. I'm going to mute the music for now, and we'll see if this continues. Are they going to say, is he going to say anything? Nope. Anyway, let's just do it without the music. It's not shitty music. That's, what's the band is that? I'd get up forever without you. That song, and I don't want the world to see me. Goo Goo Dolls. Yeah, that's a good song. I like it. Hello, Digiworm. What's up? All right, anyway. All Americans, not only in states. Is this, maybe the music's done. They play the music through the whole thing? I sure hope not. Hang on.
But in every place in this country are rightly disturbed.
Anyway, we'll just play it without the music and we'll read the caption. Americans are rightly disturbed. My mouse has stopped working. Oh, there we go. Rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. Our immigration policies are in shambles, plain and simple. And right now, our borders are amazingly porous to people who shouldn't be here, such as terrorists, drug smugglers, etc. If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship. And we wonder in this country why we have an illegal immigration problem. Oh, Barbara Jordan was totally against illegal immigration. Unlawful immigration is not acceptable. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and immediately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it. They're cheering him. My God, they are cheering that. Who are these people? Who are those people? I don't believe it. They were cheering that. Ugh. They are disgusting human beings. Oh, Lord. The good old days. All right, moving on. And speaking of, and now, that was then, and this is now. Democrats block Republican photo ID vote requirement. Senate Democrats rejected a Republican amendment requiring government-issued photo ID like a driver's license or passport or for federal elections. The procedural vote failed short of the 60 votes needed, as all 53 Republicans supported and 47 Democrats opposed, calling it a partisan move tied to a veterans bill. Now, you know what's funny about that? Why would it be a partisan move to require voter ID? Why? Why would it be a partisan move? Huh? It's weird. Anyway. All right. Republicans see it as a common sense security amid stalled efforts on the broader Save America Act, which demands proof of citizenship to register, while Democrats warn it would complicate access for millions. Now that's funny. So they did, Democrats are fighting the SAVE Act, right? So the Republicans tried to attach a voter ID bill to another bill, right? And Democrats obviously voted it down. But it's funny because there are already 36 states, I think, that require to show an ID when you go to vote. Although some of those states will give license to anybody, so it's kind of moot. But Democrats rejected it. How could that be? Everyone has to have an ID to live in the United States, pretty much. So anyway, wow, Democrats won. That's first. Oh, this guy's excited. Democrats won. That's a first. The U.S. Senate has. Oh, wait a minute. Also, though, the U.S. Senate has passed a bill funding most of DHS following President Trump's executive order to pay TSA workers using other funds. Tyre, are you here? They're going to pay you guys. They were going to pay him either way because Donald Trump was going to use other funds. However, ICE and Border Patrol are not funded. Wow, they do not want to keep they love them some illegal immigration. I'm telling you. ICE and CBP are already being paid. Yeah, they are, but they're not. Well, are not funded. They're already being paid because it's already in the budget. So anyway, disgraceful. Senate rhinos just left town. They rushed through a bill funding TSA and most of DHS, but deliberately left ICE and CBP unfunded. No Save America Act, no proof of citizenship, no backbone. So some people are not happy about that either. So, and certainly John Thune didn't fight for it, so that's why it didn't get passed. Next up, these are the featured articles of X. Sony raises PS5 and PS5 Pro and Portal prices starting in April. If for all you gamers who have PS5s or want a PS5. Here it is. PlayStation announced themselves. Important price update for PS5 and PlayStation Portal. So now, oh my God, it went up $100 for the regular PS5, up $100 for the PS5 digital, up $100 or $150 for the PS5 Pro, and Portal is up about $50. Anybody into that? For that price, you can get a better PC. Yeah, you could. I'm not going to buy one. Probably not going to buy a PC either. Another feature story. I guess we're through the feature stories. Well, here we go. Now let's just go. These are odds and end videos, and I haven't even watched them, but I watched some of them. This is funny because they're talking about this.
Guys, the SAVE Act.
Okay, this drives me nuts that you can't pause it if you've been sitting here too long. This one's about the SAVE Act, and apparently Elizabeth Banks, the actress, decided to put a video out about why she wasn't going to be able to vote because of this, if the SAVE Act passes. And this other lady, looking with that confused look in her face, decided to debunk it. So this is interesting. Let's watch this one. Full screen. There we go.
Guys, the SAVE Act. Stop it. You gotta stop it. Stop it. It's not going to hurt anybody. Stop it.
Hello. Hi, Kay. Hi, Kay Shaw. What up, Kirsten? Good. What up, girl?
Also gonna tell us, oh my gosh, I'm not smart enough to get a real ID or get my passport. I changed my name.
I'm gonna show you who it hurts. So this is my birth certificate.
Okay.
I actually have 2 copies. They're so old. I was born in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. These are from the city of Pittsfield, Office of the City Clerk.
Okay.
They say Elizabeth Mitchell because that was my birth name, Elizabeth Mitchell.
Okay.
So like millions and millions and millions and millions of women, I changed my name.
Okay.
Driver's license, which says Elizabeth Banks. And sure, which state I legally changed my name in. I think it was New York. It might have been California. The point is, it was 27 years ago that happened.
You are blatantly lying.
This is funny. Because she is making it sound like she wouldn't be able to vote if they pass the SAVE Act. Because, oh, well, this is my birth certificate. I don't even know where I changed my name. You shouldn't be able to do it anyway. Oh, my God. Okay.
To the people that follow your page, your fans, which is skeezy as hell. You see that little yellow star in the corner of your ID?
Did she just... Is that what we use for the real ID? Hang on a second. Where's my... Because I know I got a real ID. I didn't... A yellow star? Oh my God! Well, it's a white star and a yellow background. Okay, it's not a yellow star. I was saying, did they... You know what them yellow stars mean.
Yeah, that means that you have a real ID, which you do have to have all of the paperwork from when you changed your name to get a real ID.
She already did this. She somehow did it to get a real ID. She got that. Which you have to prove your citizenship and name change to get a real ID.
Girl, did you think we weren't smart enough to zoom in when you flipped your card over?
She lied.
You have a passport. You're right. I'm rich and famous. I have a passport. Passports cost $100 and something.
Oh, and she has a passport too? Oh my goodness. How did you get a passport? How the hell did you get a passport when your name was changed 27 years ago?
Dollars to get. That is a poll tax. It's unconstitutional.
How do you sleep at night getting on the internet lying to the people that made you famous in the first place? Because you're out here suggesting every single person in the United States has to register to vote after the SAVE Act passes. The thing is if you're already registered, you're already good to go. And if you have a little star on your ID, you've already proven who you are. Nobody is forcing anybody to go out and get a freaking passport. I just love that for years, all of you Democrats have said that you're so educated and we're...
Okay, you get the point. You get the point. I don't need to share the rest. It'll be in the links if you want to watch the whole thing. Next one, controversy. It's another blackface controversy. And it's quite disturbing. And this one's been trending for a while. Oh, shoot, what the hell? Apparently, there's a comedian who's very popular on the internet named Drewski. Oh, wait, did I say a blackface scandal? I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. People are still kind of going after Erica Kirk. Drewski's conservative women skit draws Erica Kirk comparisons and backlash. And this is from it was earlier in the week, but whatever. This is a video that amassed over 120 million views as Drewski clutched an American flag and drawled lines like, "Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a white male man." Okay, now let's just show you the video of Drewski's video. Drewski made himself up in whiteface. It's like white chicks all over again. By the way, here's the video. This is how conservative women in America act. This is now I haven't seen this, and it might be a little bit funny, but still it's kind of tough because it's aimed at Erica Kirk basically. How conservative women in America act. So he starts off with the Erica Kirk parody, in which he is in whiteface.
Get on your feet!
Now, I gotta tell you, it's pretty wild how well he did this. I'm just saying. I'm not even, I'm trying to be mad about it, but not. Why do you do Erica Kirk? Because he's because he's just, I don't know if, Drewski just tries to be funny, and this is funny to him, and I don't think he means to rag on Erica Kirk specifically, but she just happens to be the flavor of the day. But it's got some people very angry, and I can understand it.
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
Okay, I hate the way they put music in it.
Ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to be mad about it, but I'm not. I mean, it is funny. I mean, but some people are very sensitive. I understand being wary of someone who just lost their husband, but it's just
some chai ice matcha. Okay. And Bella will have all organic pop cup.
Organic?
Yes, everything organic.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? 4, 3, 7. Oh, are you good? 4.
I just wonder
3.
If everyone who's in this video were in on the joke. And I'm not 100% sure if they were or not. It's kind of,
in America, especially all white men in America, those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes. Because they are the ones.
This is what's funny about this too, is this is the left's opinion about how the riot is. And it's kind of, I laugh at them as much as I laugh with this skit. So anyway, there's a little backlash over that, and Drewski will get through it. And frankly, I don't give a shit. But anyway, lots of people upset about it. And if you read some of the comments, conservatives be like, I love offensive humor until it's about them. Well, and you know what? I'm not all that thin-skinned about it. It's funny. Drewski claps back by revealing he's biracial after conservatives demand he be canceled. I don't know. Is anyone demanding he be canceled? Let's scroll through some of these comments. I'm just curious. Let's see. Drewski said he doesn't need a pass. LOL, his granddaddy is white. Laura Loomer, is there anything trashier than attacking Erica Kirk, a woman who hasn't done anything to deserve the vitriol she's getting online? It's demented to see how many people enjoy tormenting a widow and a young mother whose husband was murdered on live TV. I wish I could help her. Okay, I guess that's related. Someone's here, dog. You can't see what I'm looking at. This is the picture that someone put side by side. They did a decent job of makeup on the guy. I'm sorry. I'm not if you could have picked any other conservative woman other than Erica Kirk, but she's the flavor of the day. So, mind you, Drewski said conservative women. He never said Erica's name. Erica said Erica's name. MAGA said Erica's name. Telling on yourselves like shit. Well, no, he clearly tried to make himself look like Erica Kirk and spoofed her TPUSA event. That was after her husband's death. So obviously he was trying to emulate Erica Kirk. Drewski's Erica Kirk skit was hilarious. That's Candace Owens. Of course, Candace Owens loved it. I understand the humor. It's hard when you're, when someone whose husband was murdered on it for the world to see. But he's, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Is it in poor taste? Yeah, some might think so. Whatever. All right, moving on. Apparently there's this kid. I don't know what happened here, but a Palestinian toddler previously claimed who Hamas complained was tortured by the IDF was healthy when handed over. Any injuries occurring after his return were pre-existing. Wait, what? Any injuries occurred after his return or were pre-existing. So anyway, they're claiming, someone was claiming that, that here it is. It's not just, let's see. They said the toddler was clearly injured by IOF terrorists and still has wounds. You are insufferable lying scum. They're claiming that this kid for some reason he was in IDF custody because, oh, here it is. Not the first time Egyptian soldiers and policemen are protecting Arab children over their own safety. Below, Israel policemen give his helmet to Arab child in Jerusalem, a holy place, as they were attacked by missiles from the IRGC. Well, there's a lot of Arabs who live in Israel, and they go to the bomb shelters just like everybody else. But anyway, here's the actual exchange, at least when this child was returned to Gaza or the Palestinians, whatever. There's no way to tell who's telling the truth from this video. Also, the Red Cross did not make any claims about the child's health or well-being. They just confirmed that the child was returned. So that's the exchange. You can't tell anything from the video. They're claiming that the IDF tortured a child, though. X'd it out. All right. And by the way, when you say that they're really concerned about that the IDF might have tortured this child, but then you see something like this, you're gonna go, this is a video. Hundreds of Iranian mothers are offering their babies to the Islamic regime as human sacrifices. If they are willing to murder their own children for jihad, imagine what they'll do to ours. This is a tad bit disturbing. This is in Iran, I guess.
Martyrdom is a hugely important concept here in the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're currently at an event where hundreds of women hold their babies into the air to show that they're willing to offer their children as martyrs for God and for Imam Hussein. All of that goes back to the legendary Battle of Karbala, where Imam Hussein held his baby into the air, asking the enemy that was besieging Karbala to give the baby water, and instead the enemy killed the baby. Now, there's nothing more glorious here than dying as a martyr. And of course, right now, that concept takes on an even more important meaning as Iran is involved in this massive struggle with Israel and the United States.
We want to show them we are not scared of anything, she says, and will support our state until they are destroyed. And she says they need to know that Imam Hussein is our everything, and we should sacrifice our lives for Imam Hussein. This is a symbol saluting Imam Hussein, she says, who's the leader of all the oppressed who stand against oppressors and don't submit.
Let me just say something fascinating about that statement in itself. Of all the oppressed, but who's the oppressor in their case? The oppressor is their government, not the outside people. What the actual fuck is she talking about?
And just to show how big this is in Iran right now, the crowd here was chanting, death to America, death to Israel. And there was even a children's choir that was singing songs as videos were shown of Iran's missile program in action. And of course, also when the Trump administration carried out those strikes against Iranian nuclear installations. In total, right now, as this conflict is taking place, all of this extremely important to the folks here.
What's funny too is that reporter. Now, is that a CNN? Is that the CNN reporter? Did he sound? Did he at all sound like he was disgusted by that, or did he seem kind of like he almost sounded in awe of it, and not in a bad way? It's amazing. Why would you expect them to know that what they were talking about? I don't know, because it's you know, I hate to talk about other religions in a bad light, but it certainly seems like a religion that glorifies death. And, you know, also, I forgot about this video. Hang on. Let me refresh it so I can pause it if I need to. But it's just how they will use children, use martyrdom, use civilians as shields, but also knowing our nature to recoil at anything that happens to children or people or civilians, which they don't give a fuck about civilians. We do everything we can to minimize hurting civilians and go for military targets, whereas they glorify the civilians who die as martyr and have no qualms just launching. They're not launching rockets at targets that are military targets. They're target, especially in Israel, they just target wherever they can. They'll blow it, they'll target wherever they can in civilian areas, not the Israeli military, but also, and then they also use suffering, and I'm putting it in parentheses for a reason, as a tool against us because of their incredible use of propaganda. And I'll start with this image here. I'm going to start with it paused because this is supposedly in Gaza, right? That everyone was starving in Gaza and they're fighting to get food and they're standing in lines to get food. Watch the video because it's also known as Pallywood. Pallywood, like, well, you know what I mean. Palestine, Pallywood. Let's turn the music off. So they're taking this video. Now stop. Now look at, as they're making this video, look around behind them and look at the other kids here. They're just watching because they're part of the production. This is a production to gain sympathy. I mean, all the people standing around as they pan out. And I don't even know who would have taken the video of them panning out. Maybe they're teaching how to do production of this stuff. So welcome to Pallywood. I don't think they care as much about their children. They care as much about their children, but not in the same way. Hello, Rockhopper. What's up? All right, next one. Now we get to the Minnesota section. You know how crazy my state is, and this is a Minneapolis City Council meeting, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. There's obviously a message with the tweet, but I'm gonna just play this on its own. Oh, am I gonna be able to pause this though? Yes, I am. Okay. This is the city of Minneapolis. It's a city council meeting. And I want you to listen very carefully what they're talking about here.
No one needs to vote on this. Let it be in the record. That's fine. But I mean,
okay, I guess I'm gonna have to give you a synopsis. So this is the Minneapolis City Council having a meltdown after some of the members would not unanimously approve a resolution, 1, to normalize relations with Cuba. The city of Minneapolis to normalize relations with Cuba, and 2, to divest from European institutions who support ICE, which I mean, I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute. Is there just a bevy of European institutions that support ICE? I don't know. And then this says these people are paid 6-figure salaries to LARP as diplomats in a city council meeting. Again, this is a city council meeting.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not hurtful when I'm talking and people are laughing and making remarks. Maybe it's not on this specific one, but it happens constantly. When I'm chairing
Because you're kind of a joke.
When I'm chairing a meeting and someone calls me a fucking child, and I'm just doing a direct quote. Like, it's not fair. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
I do not want to come to work to be bullied.
All right, let's all focus on decorum. If we need to take a recess so that we can, do we need a 5-minute recess?
Point of order.
Yeah, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
I don't know why you'd have a point of order. So anyway, that's what they're voting on, and she had a little bit of a meltdown there. Also, here's more Minneapolis City Council meeting. Now, this is Minneapolis City Councilor Pearl Warren goes on an insanely unhinged rant complaining about being black and a victim of racism. Now, again, she is on the city council, and I'm going to see if I can relate to anything being also black, although I'm not a woman, so I can't always, what did I just say? Empathize, whatever. But let's see what she has to say.
I wake up every day black.
I'll use the bell. I'll use the bell because I can't stop the video over and over again. This is too long. Okay, so I wake up every day black.
That's something that I have to deal with. It's not a choice. It's not an option. I don't get to take it off. I don't get to choose absolutely anything different.
Okay.
The adverse effects of marginalization and things that I experience being a black woman.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, I can't ring the bell for that.
Every day?
Every day? Every day? It hits you every day. Someone does something to you every day. You can't. Oh my gosh, you got to get some of those. What are those called? When the horses wear when they're running. They got these little black things out here. That's what you need some of. Hi, Midnight in Exile.
Has been perpetuated by institutions of white racism throughout history.
But wait, how old are you, lady? What are you talking about? I know they're called blinders. I was just being silly. Every day?
Welcome to the place that I've lived my entire life. Welcome to where I've been with my ancestors, my grandparents.
You were alive when your grandparents? Well, I suppose, who knows?
My parents, and welcome. I'm glad that you have arrived and made it here. It is an uncomfortable and disrespectful space.
As I sit in the city council dais.
I won't do.
What won't you do? What won't you do? Ever? What? Tell me.
White folks how to treat me as a black woman.
Wait, you're not going to tell white folks how to treat you? Well, what are you about to do then? I'm just curious.
If you can't wake up in the morning and know that you put on your pants one leg at a time and bleed.
I don't. I put them on both legs at a time. I hang down and put my feet up and I pull them both. I just I can't. I put like my ankles in and I get the legs in, and then I pull them. Never mind.
Red blood just the way that I do. It is not my fiduciary
I bleed my own blood.
Responsibility to remind you of your humane right.
What's a human? What my human right? Is that like something you put a cigar in? A human? Oh no, that's a humidor. Never mind.
What's going on in Europe and what you're doing in Europe? Good.
What? What the hell? You're the Minneapolis City Council. What are you talking about Europe for?
Go do a lot of that. But I still have to fight institutionalized racism in my community.
How so? What institution? Tell me the institution and exactly how it affects you differently than other people's.
And in my home, here in the state.
In your home too? You've experienced institutional racism in your home? Are you married to a white man?
Minnesota on a day-to-day basis.
Day-to-day?
I am concerned with the laws that exist here in the state of Minnesota.
Okay, but what are we talking about? Oh, I wonder if this has to do with the Europe thing when they were trying to. Anyway.
If I wanted to sit here and talk about the disenfranchisement of what has happened to black folks here in America, I tell everybody to empty their pockets and strip their clothes off.
Oh, baby. Where are you going with this, honey? Tell me about it, honey.
For the cotton that my ancestors picked.
What?
The fact
Well,
that
hold up. Hey, the cotton that your ancestors pick is probably long gone in the dirt. Hey, it's the cotton that your ancestors pick has already been repatriated. They bought you some. They got some new cotton to build. To put in that coat. Although yours is probably acrylic in the lining and shit.
money is made from linen and cotton. I am not disconnected in any way, shape, form, or fashion from anything that is happening to black folks here in America.
What is happening to us? I don't understand.
What ICE is doing is disgusting, but I've been iced my whole damn life.
Has she been in jail? What? You personally have been iced your whole life. They sent you to El Salvador? God dang.
And if you don't think I recognize what's going on, then welcome to my reality. You make a choice.
I'm curious now.
This ain't a choice.
And now you're on the city council. Damn, you come a long way, baby.
This is my life. I woke up like this. And so I mean it when I say it. I have had to look past and dismiss and have been told as a black woman my entire life about pulling myself up by my bootstraps, and doggone it, that's what I've done.
Yes, good. That's good. It means you're able to. See, now we're getting somewhere. She might be saying something worthwhile here. Hold up.
Act right is act right.
Wait. What did she just say?
What I've done. Act right is act right.
One more time.
That's what I've done. Act right is act right.
Oh, act. I get it. I got you. BRB Bathroom, what's up?
There's
Happy
a
Friday.
difference between trauma and choice. And
What
I make
trauma?
a conscious choice every day not to allow somebody else's behaviors, actions, ideologies, ways they think, they act, not to and traumatize me.
Oh, okay, now. I see what she went there. Okay. She might be making a good point here. I'm telling you, I'm serious. She's saying that. No, she acting like a victim. She's telling you that she chooses not to be a victim. I think she might be saying that.
Because I got work to do.
Yes. Okay.
Ain't nobody taking care of my 6 kids and grandkids but me.
This is turning.
Ain't nobody giving me a handout, not at window 5, not out on the streets.
Okay.
Nobody's coming to save my community when black babies are being slaughtered.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Where black babies are being slaughtered?
On the streets?
Okay, I'm confused. Because I live in Minneapolis. I don't know about any black babies being slaughtered in the streets. I don't know what she means. Other than, maybe she's talking about cause she's from North Minneapolis. And she's one of these people, like when they were talking about, I remember her now. She was one of the people when they were talking about defund the police. She's like, no, we need the damn police up here. So, okay, context. Chicago Mike. Thanks for the 5, Chicago Mike word salad. Where's the Scribe Light bingo card? Yeah, no, there definitely have bingo cards that do here, but she's making some points that I kind of agree with. Like y'all, because I think this is when they were talking about when they were talking about defunding anything, the European institutions that support ICE or something. I think that's during the same hearing, and she's like, "This is stupid."
don't see protesters pulling up to stop the violence that continues to perpetuate in North Minneapolis.
Yep. See, okay. Yes, I knew it. Because nobody cares when a black child gets killed by, or a black person gets killed by another black person in North Minneapolis. You don't see no protests. You don't see people, marching unless a cop does it. I remember her now.
I'm tired. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. But I won't allow it to stop my productivity and what needs to be done for the community. So don't come for me, because I didn't send for nobody.
Okay.
And I mean that from the top of my heart. The fight that I fight every day to be a black woman here in America.
I mean, she posed the black card thing, but she's talking about where she lives, too.
You don't understand where I stand because you've never sat where I've sat.
She kind of posed both the victim and the whatever.
Thank you for being woke.
She was one of those people mad at that defund the police bullshit. I remember that now.
I appreciate it. Now do something with your awakeness that does not antagonize or get in the way of the fiduciary responsibility that I have to the residents of this city to ensure that they have equal access and opportunity. Let me see you all pull up and make sure that North Minneapolis has the fair and equal treatment that it deserves, to make sure that our babies ain't getting slaughtered on the streets here. Because we show up for everything else. It's a real place.
So, and one of her things she's angry about is, all of a sudden these ICE protests for all the illegal aliens, right? But no one protests when, there's a shooting in North Minneapolis. Nobody out there protesting when it's just a shooting that doesn't involve the police. And so, she wants she wants a better police presence in North Minneapolis. And a lot of people out there in the council, super woke, saying, oh no, we need to fund the police. We need to have community counselors and shit. And she's like, that's bullshit. So anyway, in some ways it's an unhinged rant, but in other ways she makes some points that I'd have to say, well, right. Right. Why aren't there men in black households? Well, there are now, none, not no, but yeah, her verbiage is always is questionable, but there you go. All right, next one. I got a couple more, and then we're going to do Q&A. Now this is the one this is the shot. This is the shot, and after the shot, there will be a chaser, but there's also an interim chaser. So, Minnesota Democrats in the legislature are debating whether wild rice, yes, the food product, the grain, the grain that grows wild a lot in the wetlands of Minnesota, whether wild rice has an inherent right to life. 2 years ago, they voted for abortion to be legal up to the moment of birth. But here they're talking about wild rice, and this is the first one. This is the shot.
First, this bill applies the legal inherent rights doctrine to a plant that has been in Minnesota since long before there was a Minnesota. That doctrine does not grant any right to wild rice. Rather, it recognizes that the plant's inherent right to live exists because it is alive.
Now, first of all, wild rice is not an endangered species of plant. You can find wild rice in a lot of places. And apparently here's someone introducing the bill. How long is this? Here's 14 seconds. This is another person talking about wild rice. Okay, here's how they introduced the bill. This is the interim chaser. Hello, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house.
Senate File 3749 is adding just one sentence to the definition of our state grain. It states, it is the policy of this state to recognize the inherent right of uncultivated wild rice to exist and thrive in Minnesota. Senate File 30.
So what they're trying to do is they're giving a right to a plant. Okay. Now here's the chaser. Another one who's this. It gets sillier and sillier sometimes because this basically the bill is about operation of watercraft in a manner that threatens uncultivated wild rice beds. Okay, meaning boats and jet skis and shit. But this guy even considers wild rice to be something even more. Listen.
All Minnesotans to really encourage responsibility and responsible treatment of wild rice. It's not just a thing, it's a being, and we need to be responsible for each other and for all the beings.
Did you talk?
So that's the end of my testimony. Thank you very much.
Did you talk to the wild rice, sir? I'm just curious. Did you ask it? Did you ask its opinion about the bill? Because maybe we could get the wild rice to vote on the bill. Oh my God, they're losing their minds. All right. And then I got a couple other, but you know what? Oh, I'll save the last one for post show. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's that time, your favorite part of every Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Friday Q and A. And every Friday we do Friday Q&A where you can ask me questions, personal, not personal, general, topic related, or just goofy shit that Avocatus Diabli comes up with out of the deep trenches inside his mind. And sometimes those are the best questions. So here we go. Friday Q&A. Is it Friday? It is Friday. Yes, it is. First question today comes from, well, of course, Avocatus Diabli. Avocatus Diabli asks, have you ever taken a piss so long that when you were done, you needed a moment just to catch your breath? Yes, I have. AD, back in college when I was a prolific consumer of that malty, bubbly beverage known as beer. And boy, could I drink a lot of beer, and I could drink it fast because I was one of the fastest beer chuggers in the Midwest at the time. Yeah, every once in a while, look, here's the thing. For those who drink a lot of beer, especially if you did that in college or if you still do it now, you know that really, if you really got to wait for that first one, right? Because as soon as you do that first one, you're going to be going all night, right? So you try to hold it and hold it and hold it. You're like, yeah, no, I got to wait. I just don't want to, because if I do it now, then I'm going to be in the bathroom every 10 minutes. So you hold that first pee as long as you can, and then finally you just got to go, and you're just like, oh, you go to the bathroom, and it's just, you're like, oh. And then it feels really awesome too. Anyway, so yes, the answer is yes. All right, too much information. Lord Stanhope asking for the committee, how does one disgrace a pig? It seems incredibly difficult. Oh, you know what's disgrace? I'm not really sure how you disgrace a pig because, they're pretty dirty. Well, they're dirty, but they're really clean. They use mud to clean themselves and keep cool. But hey, you know what? Was somebody on this show told me this? In South Korea, apparently, one of the reasons they don't seem, well, first of all, they're not allowing a lot of immigration by Muslims, but apparently in South Korea, whenever they figure out that someone's going to be wanting to build a mosque somewhere, apparently South Koreans throw pig heads into the building sites. And so they change their mind about building the mosque there, and they'll throw a big pig roast or big pig barbecue right nearby and invite everybody to come enjoy the pig roast. And that's how it seems like a weird way to keep Muslims at bay, but it's what they do. I don't know if that's a true story or not, but it sounded pretty weird and interesting. Avocados Diablo asks, if you had the means and ability to brainwash the general public into believing one truly insane, out of this world wacky idea, what would it be? That I am their Lord and Savior. No. That would be, there'd be too much fucking pressure. No way would I choose that one. That'd be terrible. That Avocados Diablo was their Lord and Savior. Gotcha. Yeah, where's that? Gotcha, bitch. Okay, Lord Stand-Up asks, if you were to, if you were to ear a block of cheese, roughly 2 pounds, no crackers, no bread, no wine, no fruit, just cheese, eat. That's you hit R instead of T. If you were to eat a block of cheese, roughly 2 pounds, no crackers, no bread, no wine, no fruit, just cheese, what cheese would it be? Also, who would you share the not so pleasant after effects with? Well, first of all, I don't have a problem with dairy, right? So the after effects would just mean that I'd have to be taking like Senna or something like that, But what if it was just a block of cheese? Look, I would stick to good old fashioned sharp cheddar. Smoked Gouda wouldn't be bad, 8-year-old cheddar, yeah. But you don't want a too much of an aged cheese or a hard cheese, too hard of a cheese, because that would even be harder to get out and digest. So, but yeah, it's just maybe it's something more mild, maybe more like a not Monterey Jack. What's the Havarti? Maybe some Havarti, like dill Havarti. That would be good. Ms. Wildwolf asks, if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why? Only one. I would remove the need for people to have conflicts. In other words, where people could just live and let live. But that would require, unfortunately, the removal of some multiple religious doctrines. But if you could find a way for people to live without conflict, but that, I don't know how you do that, because there's always going to be conflict. But if you could do it, that would be the one thing. Avocados, now how to do it, I have no fucking idea. Avocados Diablo asks, have you seen the Supreme Court just decided that ISPs are not responsible for customers who download bootlegged music? Duh, how did that even make it that far? I thought that was established law. I thought so too. I thought when they went through, well, I suppose, because now, see, the thing is now you can download music without the ISP, you know what I mean? You can use, there's so many different ways to download music and download like different kinds of video and files and stuff. How would the ISP be able to control it? You can go on YouTube and download music using third-party apps, and they have nothing to do with it. It's not that they're not the ones who did it. They, anyone who puts their music on the internet, you can download it pretty much. So that I'm shocked I'm shocked that even made it to the Supreme Court. Lord Santa asks, in your honest opinion, as a bartender, who has it worse, Iraq 2003 or Iran now? I don't, if you mean under the regime or because we're attacking them. As far as the people, I would say Iran has always had it worse under the regime. Saddam Hussein, his ire wasn't necessarily at the people that lived there as much, although there was torture and whatever. They did shit too, but Iran's regime to the people has always been brutal. So I would say Iran. Stop Numble Nation asks, did you leave any unmarked mystery VHS tapes for your kids, grandkids to find? No, no, I did not. Although granted, we live in the DVD era, mostly. I mean, but no, I have never owned or had access to any of that kind of crap. Never have, never used it, just never did. Those my fingers are not crossed. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Avocados Diablo asks, if you could have the power to do anything you wanted to do with your mind, but you had to live half your life as a naked mole rat in exchange, would that be an acceptable trade-off? Only if I had a lifespan of 250 years. I could do it. I don't care if 125 years would be a good run, and then the rest is a naked mole rat for, however many years. I'd be okay. Hello, Annalyn. What's up? Welcome. All right. Next. Wait a minute. Is BRB bad? No, it's not. Never mind. Okay. Let me. Where am I at? Lord Stanhope asks, did you know wild rice isn't actually rice, but it's actually a mishmash of random grains? Well, it's yes, you're correct. It's not rice. It's a separate grain of its own, but it's not a mishmash of random grains. It is a specific grain. There's several varieties of it, but yeah, I deal with wild rice all the time in Minnesota, especially because it grows. There's some prolific growers of wild rice, which just sounds like an oxymoron, but harvesters, I should say harvesters, because it's very big in northern Minnesota. So you can go into any store in northern Minnesota and find wild rice pretty quickly, and for a good price. What was it? It was we found a place where it was about $6 a pound, which is cheap for wild rice. All right, Avocados Diablo asks, how did Uncle Tom ever become an insult? Considering in the book he is killed in the end for refusing to give up the location of 2 escaped slave girls. Because people don't fucking read. And I have no idea. I mean, I know that's been an insult as long as I've been alive. And I don't know. It may have been because the people who started using it as an insult didn't actually read the book and just saw him as another, slave trying to help Whitey. And no, he's the hero of the story. That's the thing. Lord Stanhope asks, in your honest and professional opinion as an old person, why is Pappy Van Winkle 2,000 to 3,000, or at least 1,200 a bottle, when there are 40 to 50-year-old Canadian whiskeys for less than 500? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's the difference in prices between different liquors and liqueurs and spirits often has to do with aging, ingredients, packaging, and what were it was the 4 Ps: packaging, production. Anyway, it's just it's because it probably has a process that costs a lot to make it, and it has some really beautiful packaging. Sometimes the packaging, is as expensive as the whiskey inside the package. Avocados Diablo asks, speaking of features on Mars that look vaguely like a thumbnail of Adam Schiff. Have you seen Spain euthanized a woman who was suffering from depression after being gang violated, plus a past failed attempt? Yeah, I saw that. Oh gosh, that's just brutal. And I'm not in the government assisted euthanasia. I'm not a fan of. Lord Stanhope asks, as a professional old person, Again? When was the last time you saw a skin mag for sale? Me, it was 2016. Oh, man. I can't even remember. I mean, it's been in the last... you see them occasionally in... Do they still have them in the airport? I remember you could go in the airport, you could buy skin mags at the airport in the newsstands. It's like, are you actually going to take that on a plane? Just like, but anyway, I can't remember the last time I saw one anywhere. Yeah, that's tough. Anyone's more than maybe 10 years ago, saw one in the back of you're at a newsstand in New York City. It was in the back row, because you know how they would put them up in the back row and they'd have plastic over them and shit. Yeah, interesting. Avocado Diablo asks, if you could make your own holiday, what would it be? Since you did not get a chance to chime in yesterday. The first thing that came to mind, I'm not going to say because I think our young friend is still listening. So I'm not going to say that one. But anyway, if I was going to make my own holiday, Hip Replacement Appreciation Day. I guess. I don't know. Lord Santa asks, authentic paella has chicken, rabbit, chorizo, and at least 3 seafood, usually shrimp, clams, and snails. What do you look forward to, and what do you pick out, leave to the side despite dirty looks? I'd eat all that stuff, man. Even the snails. And I really never, like my wife had escargot when she was in France with my daughter and their grandmother. And I was like, I'll never eat snails, right? I was like, that's just the thought of it's gonna gross. You're just looking at that snail and you're like, oh, how's it gonna feel when you eat it? And then when we went on a vacation once, and there was a place that had snails, and she was like, okay, I'm ordering escargot and you're going to eat it. And I was like, oh God, it just sounds gross and nasty, whatever. But then we got it, and it's like had all this Parmesan over it and stuff, and you bite it, and I'm expecting it to be like this really slimy, sleazy stuff. And it's like, oh, it's just like, it's a solid food when you cook it. Like, okay, it's not that bad. No, there's nothing in paella that I would not eat. I tell you what, the one we had at that wedding was so good, and they made so much of it at the same time. It was a huge pan. Anyway, I might have some pictures of that. I might have to bring that up someday. Avocado Diablo asks, oh shoot, there we go. If you could convince a group of people you were a god walking amongst men, what hilarity would you get up to, or what hilarity would you cause? Oh man. I wouldn't have to walk anywhere anymore because I could get them to carry me on one of those, chairs where they got like 6 guys. They're basically, what's the word? Well, I was going to say pallbearers or hucklebearers, but anyway, and and then people would be like, why are they carrying this dude around? That'd be hilarious. Avocado Diablo. If you could convince a group of people... Oh, you already said that one. I already did that one. Wait a minute. Next. Lord Stand Up. If 1.5 billion Muslims can't beat 7 million Israelis, should we really be scared of them? Well, okay. I'm not saying you should be scared of them, but certainly the concern of the way they wage the way some wage their battle or jihad makes you worry of just some random shit around you. I mean, you just got to go, what the hell? How do you protect yourself from that? So, yeah. Avocado Diablo asks, wait a minute, but it's not what? Oh, okay. I see. 1.5 billion Muslims can't beat 7 million Israelis because by the way, not all of the Muslims are interested in fighting with the Israelis anymore. There's but it's enough of them that it causes problems. Avocado Diablo, how is it that one place that was synonymous with shootings, so much so that we have the phrase going postal in the past, is the one place no one ever shoots up anymore? Oh, shh. work at UPS, man. Don't ask that question. And also the postal. No, let's not go there. I like getting my mail on time. Let's just not go there, 80. Lord Stand-Up asks, when was the last time you thought about something and hurt yourself? Oh, I like actually hurt myself, or just it hurt thinking about it? Because I fell off a roof once when I was a kid, and I get, even just saying it, I get that tinge in my back where I go, oh, you know, like when you're watching someone like really wipe out falling off a bicycle or something, that part of your body hurts even though it didn't happen to you. Every time I think about me falling off that roof, and there it goes again. That's it. Avocado Diablo asks, every time you go to sleep, Michael McDonald sneaks into your room and sings, I keep forgetting, while doing nitrous, so his voice gets all deep to annoy you. What is the best way to make him stop? Kick him in the balls. That's always works. Hey, Michael McDonald, shut the fuck up. Bam. Oh, that'll stop him. Lord Stanhope, at this point, are the Epstein files approaching the level of ridiculousness similar to the satanic panic of the 80s? Yes. And I wish they would just start perp walking some people and get it out of the way. There's certainly people that they could be perp walking right now. There's enough information. Go put them, get them on trial, or shut the fuck up about it. One of the two. Or here's what they do. You know how to get people to shut up, especially Democrats, shut up about the Epstein files? Start arresting all the Democrats in them. Okay. Lord Stand Up, in your honest opinion, professional opinion as a bartender, when is the best time of the year to bathe in Velveeta? Oh, in the fall. Because you get all sneaky. And look, if you're going to bathe in Velveeta, do it on a nice fall day in the North Woods, and then roll around in some colorful leaves, and you'll be just a special sight to see. You make a great centerpiece at the next company picnic. Selected Boy asks, what would be willpower to you? Me not eating sweets, because I have a really bad sweet tooth, but I'm trying to stop eating sweets and even things with sugar, because and I'm doing pretty good. I don't really eat. I've gotten to the point where I pretty much I'll eat some vegetables and a lot of protein, but that is my willpower, being successful at not eating sweets all the time. Avocado Sally, if you could reanimate one famous dead circus sideshow freak act and put it to work as a personal chef, who would it be? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. If you could reanimate one famous dead circus sideshow act and freak and put them to work as a personal chef, who would it be? Probably somebody with an extra limb, like an extra arm, especially if it's functional. If they have a functional extra limb, just out of freak nature, that would make them a lot more efficient in the kitchen. So there you go. Lord Santa asks, why do people think educated people can't be stupid? Stupid is a question of attitude, not knowledge. Well, it's because also, look, educated people are just people who maybe have gained a lot of facts, but still don't know how to fucking think. They think it's monumentally stupid, but have a lot of facts in their head. And so you wouldn't know how to process those facts. So educated just means you've learned about some shit and you can still be dumb as fuck. I don't know if that answers the question, but there you go. Lord Stanham asks, if Jim Baker had a force battle with Jimmy Swaggart, who would win? Oh, Jimmy Swaggart whooped Jim Baker's ass. I don't know what the force battle is, but definitely Jimmy Swaggart could kick Jim Baker's ass. Jim Baker was a pussy. He just, I don't know why that came out so easy. Oh my God, there's a lot of questions left. Oh my God, how many are there left? Jesus, how many questions are there? There's no way I'm gonna get through this. Okay, it's got to be lightning round. Now I got to find where the hell I was. Okay, it's got to be lightning round. Lord, stand up. What's the best fight you ever witnessed where you wish both sides could lose and both sides did? I can't think of one. I just can't think of one. Maybe somebody else has one. Avocado Stiali asks, why would those mothers offer their children as a sacrifice for the cause? Not like a baby can carry all that much explosives. Oh, but you could fit plenty in their crib. Oh, God, I can't believe I said that. I can't even answer that. Avocado Stiali asks, you don't like to talk about individuals in a bad light. What difference does the lighting make with talking? Well, it doesn't. Except when you're on video watch. See, this is a problem. See, that's a problem. All right. Now we're back. That's better lighting. See, the green screen works better. Okay. Avocado Stiali, do you think 3M might one day change their name to 4M? Minnesota Mining, Manufacturing, and Muslims? Yeah. I don't know if how long 3M's going to stay in Minnesota. It's really hard to hold a big company here anymore. We'll see. Lord Stand-Up, if you ran a fried chicken joint and had to hire either a member of the squad, Jasmine Crockett, or Corey Bush, who would you hire? Either a member of the squad, Jasmine Crockett, or Corey Bush. Who would you? Oh, Corey Bush. You know Corey Bush can cook some fried chicken. You know what? I don't have to agree with her politics, but I know that woman can cook because she's fat. Fat black women can cook. Jasmine Crockett, she's all fake. She went to private schools and shit. Corey Bush is down hood black woman. You know that woman can cook. Definitely. Corey Bush. Lord Stand-Up, as a professional old person, how do you feel when you see someone approximately your age who just grew old but never grew up? I could name 5 off the top of my head, and good for them, man. Look, if you're having fun, you're having fun. You don't have to be act your age. Fuck acting your age. There's a point. Look, and I'm getting to this point. I'm getting to that. I'm old enough not to give a fuck what you think. You know what I mean? And there are some people who are just like, they don't give a shit. It's like, you don't like what I'm doing? I'm old. I earned this shit. Uh-oh, cramp in my leg. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay. Select Boy, are the rivalries gone in the NBA? Sort of. I think there's a few regional rivalries. And the Boston Lakers rivalries, even though it's not so much the players, because all the players are too chummy these days. I liked it when the players didn't like each other, but the Boston LA fan rivalry is still there. The Detroit Chicago's gone. It's funny because I don't think people care about individual teams as much anymore because there's so much sports betting too and fantasy shit that you start rooting for individuals and not the teams. But there's some regional rivals, like Cleveland Detroit is a pretty big rivalry still, and everybody against LeBron James. Okay, let's see. Ms. Wildwolf, what is your favorite question that you have been asked since you started Q&A? It might be that one right there because I have no idea how to answer that. Avocado Stiabi, will Minnesota be passing laws to forbid the mowing of lawns next to preserve the rights of fescue to prosper? Hold on, I might be able to get on board with that. Yeah, I'm telling you, wild rice as a being, each individual grain or the entire plant. They got to make a decision. Because anyway, Select Boy asks, do you know that most of the toppings that we have on pizza are an American innovation? That does not surprise me at all. It makes sense. People putting pepperoni and sausage and chicken or pineapple. Yeah, because traditional just traditional pizza is pretty much just sauce and cheese. So yeah, I could see that. Avocado Stabby, did you ever own a Little Orphan Annie decoder ring when you were younger? I mean, you still would have been old at that time, but younger. Yeah, no, I did not. That's a silly question. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I did not know there was such a thing as a Little Orphan Annie decoder ring. Why would there be a Little Orphan Annie decoder ring? She wasn't a detective. Ms. Wildwolf asks, would you ever do a live about the true effects of processed flour? No, I don't think so. And I'm about to use some processed flour today. I got to make some friendship bread. Slice Boy, between Nabisco and Famous Amos, which chocolate chip cookie brand is the best? You mean like Chips Ahoy? I think Chips Ahoy. I never understood what everyone thought was so great about Famous Amos. I've always liked Chips Ahoy. Ms. Wildwood asked, did you know that according to the Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ, his birthday is actually April 6th, but the day of his death, according to the Julian calendar, is April 3rd? I had no idea of either of those. Avocado Stably asked, when you get your newish hip, are you going to make sure this time they don't give you one from a serial killer? Well, you know what? Unless the serial killer is made of titanium, yeah, I ain't getting one of those. So there you go. Mine don't have a serial killer. Mine has a serial number. Okay, so I'm not worried about it. Lord Sandomess, will you have a good weekend? Yes, we are celebrating my granddaughter's 4th birthday. That was actually last week, but we're celebrating tomorrow. Avocado Stabby, speaking of gross foods, would you eat Menudo, the band, not the song, not the soup? Neither. Avocado Stabby, did you see the CNN article a while back where they claim Qatar was 2 minutes away from being attacked by the Iranian Air Force? Note it takes about 3 minutes for a fighter jet to fly that distance. I did not see that. Avocado Stabby, are you late? Yes. Late yet? Yes, I am. Avocado Stabby, was that cherry cobbler in the bathtub or was Inside Out boy taking a bath? Ew. Either way, ew. Ms. Wildwolf, what's the natural remedy for that you could recommend to help people heal? Dirt. Just put some dirt on it. Ms. Wildwolf, this is the last question on Friday Q&A. What does your red shirt mean, and does it just bite? Not wearing the one that I created. Okay, we'll get to that. Friday, Red Friday. Remember when deployed. Yes, I'm late. Special can asset. And that's it. No more. We're done. This is over and out. Here. How do you stop this shit? Jane, stop this crazy thing. There we go. NQ. Where's the NQ&A? Oh, there. What the hell? The little NQ&A thing's gone. Oh, it's because all my stuff's at the bottom. All right, that's it, guys. I got to go. Thanks for joining me on Morning Night Live. One last video, and then we're leaving. And this is Senator Cory Booker at the Newark airport. Now, please, I want you to not watch Cory Booker, but in all these little scenes, look in the background, because Cory Booker is complaining about the chaos that Donald Trump has brought to the airports because of this TA funding deal that the Democrats keep blocking. And look in the background in this entire video, Cory Booker trying to make a point here. Here it is.
Get ICE the hell out of our airports. Donald Trump has brought chaos into our airport in New Jersey.
Look at all the chaos. Where are all the people?
That is visiting upon us now because Donald Trump
chaos.
won't fund TSA.
Chaos. What?
ICE into our airport. Get ICE out of our airports. It's not good for our customers. It's not good.
Who the bloody hell was Cory Booker talking to? All right, that's it. I had to go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye. See ya. Links will be somewhere shortly. See ya. Bye.
Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank
thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when they go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.